ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الحدي حدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending immense greetings and salutations upon the final Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, we come to the topic about the youth or about the young individuals. And there's certain things that don't really change in Islam, that there's been people before us who were young and faced possibly many of the hardships, the fitan, the trials, the tribulations, the temptations that many of us face today as well. So one needs to go back to the classical sources and texts to begin to understand how do they override these temptations and these problems, especially whereby we're surrounded by such statements which have been documented inside the Quran. أخرجوا آل لوط من قريتكم إنهم أناس يتطهرون. Get rid of the people of Lut. Get them rid of, expel them from this village. إنهم أناس يتطهرون. They are a people who want to be purified. These are unfortunately slogans that we begin to find not just coming from non-Muslims, but even from Muslims. That when you remind them about staying away from temptations and lust and desires, you find Muslims begin to write, Muslims begin to lecture and promote that what's wrong with young people enjoying themselves, in doing some of these actions which may possibly even be haram or disliked or be in a grey area. And thus we know that many of us, we may make mistakes in our life or have personal weaknesses, but a Muslim is not one to encourage other individuals towards incorrect actions. There's a basic principle of ayah of the Quran, the beginning of Surah Al-Ma'idah, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. Make ta'awun, cooperation, understanding, focus with one another towards piety, good actions, obedience. Do not cooperate towards sin and vice. It becomes a general principle of Islam that encouraging people to do good is the way of this Muslim Ummah. That's on two different occasions, in exactly the same surah, in Surah Al-Imran, verse 104 and then 110. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the characteristics of the believers. They are a group of people who order the good and forbid the evil. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. Likewise, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ لِلْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. That there rise amongst you a group of people who order the good and forbid the evil. So Islam brings us out to order the good and forbid the evil. It's not a personal relationship as many of us Muslims begin to think, that Islam is a personal relationship. There's no need to advise another individual or advise oneself. And that's what Quran mentioned about those individuals amongst our Muslim brethren, unfortunately at times who may be encouraging vice. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُحِبُّونَ أَن تَشِيعَ الْفَاحِشَةُ فِي الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. Those people who love to spread illicit behavior. Fahisha in general carries the meaning of sexual misconduct. But any form of sin is a fahisha. People love to spread tempestuous, desirable actions amongst those people who believe. For them there will be a severe punishment inside this world and likewise inside the akhirah. This world, in the hadith, Sahih Muslim, in the book of Paradise, Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir. This world is a prison for the believer and a paradise for the disbeliever. And that you find that same chapter in that same book talking about paradise, Kitab al-Jannah, the book on paradise in Sahih Muslim, and the description of the people who will enter into paradise. You find this one main hadith whereby Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Jibreel alayhi salam went to visit and to look at paradise, and said, whoever sees paradise, the glitter, the glamour, the embezzlement, the beauty, the attraction, would want to dive straight into paradise. Whoever sees Jahannam, the agony, the anguish, the pain, the burning, the fire, the torture, will want to stay away from it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, cover paradise with obstacles and cover Jahannam, the fire, with temptations. حُفَّتِ الْجَنَّةُ بِالْمَكَارِحِ وَحُفَّتِ النَّارُ بِالشَّهَوَاتِ. Thus you find paradise is blocked with obstacles and Jahannam is surrounded by temptations. Every path of temptation, may Allah forbid, eventually leads towards the hellfire. To get into paradise, there are many obstacles. The person has to strive hard. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Whoever strives in our paths, we will open up our paths for them. Paradise is not cheap. Paradise is something very, very expensive to gain. And that's Imam Nawawi, the famous Sharh of Sahih Muslim, centuries ago, explained this hadith of paradise being surrounded by obstacles. He wrote centuries ago, there are 4 obstacles in the path of paradise. Those obstacles a person needs to overcome to eventually get into paradise. أولا الاجتهاد في العبادات. Person needs to strive in their obedience towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in their prayers, their fasting, the hajj, the charity. There is no shortcut to paradise. One has to be vigilant, guarding these actions, the fundamental actions. So many Muslims, young Muslims, begin to talk about political affairs, state of the Muslim Ummah, all weird and wonderful concepts. But when it comes to punctuality, or simple factors which are not simple, because we know guarding the prayer is a symbol of the believer. حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين. Guard your prayers, and especially the middle prayer. وقول الراجح, the middle prayer is Salat al-Asr. Hatta you find some ulama of ulum al-Quran, they mention that the ayah used to mention Salat al-Asr, but it became mansukha, became abrogated. But anyhow, the most strongest view that the middle prayer is Salat al-Asr. Likewise, Sifatul Mu'mineen, characteristics of the believers, the 23rd chapter of the Quran. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Successful are the believers, those who are submissive inside their prayers. That is the first step towards paradise, and that is the first question the person will be asked inside the akhirah. Will be asked about their prayers and what they did with their relationship towards the prayers. And many times we find that young individuals are not focused upon this. So the obligatory actions, the fundamental actions, is what a person should be focusing upon. Whatever is obligatory, the person should do if they have the ability. Now we find the days of Hajj. If the person has the means, the wealth, the health, etc., they should go and try and